What's going on? 8 Times Up supporters, Ty here. I just want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for being a Patreon supporter for 8 Times Up Outdoors, the crappy YouTube channel with amazing swag. And speaking of swag, your newest shipment is on its way probably as you are seeing this video for the first time. So what we are sending out is we have this very cool deck of cards from Lakes, Rivers, and Streams. The owner and illustrator, I don't want to mess up his last name, Rob Benigno. I butchered that, I'm sure. Rob, I'm sorry. We've talked online a few times when he was putting this stuff out. I thought it was absolutely incredible. I initially ordered a couple of decks for myself, and then I was like, we should just send one of these to all of our supporters. So that's what we did. We ordered these decks of cards. All of the face cards are also hand illustrated, which makes them super cool. So all the different cards are themed. You can see those there. I'm trying to, the jacks are my favorite. So you can see those cards are here. So you have one of those going to you, and we thought it would be fun to also teach you a couple of magic tricks that you can do. Use it to win free drinks off your friends. Next time you're fishing at a cabin and you're playing some cards, take these with you and you can do a couple of really cool things with them. So the first one is actually a trick that I don't think Rob probably intended to make possible with these cards. But he did. So as a magician, well, let me show you what the trick would look like. So you could actually take the cards and you could shuffle the cards if you wanted to. Let me make sure we got this set. So, and it's not set up, we're cut. So you could actually take these cards, you could shuffle these cards. I'm gonna try to shuffle them where you all can see them. So those could get shuffled, like so. You could shuffle them. You could have your friend pick any card they like. So I'm not gonna look, even though you all probably don't believe that. Then you're gonna take that card, we're gonna put it back into the deck. And all you would have to do, you could shuffle these cards some more now at this point. So you shuffle them. And then just by going through the cards, I could be looking and then looking at them and looking back and going, I don't know which one of these cards feels right to me. I think it's that one right there. So I would say that the Four of Hearts was probably the card that was picked earlier. And this is accomplished because this deck of cards, by accident or purpose, I'm betting accident, is what magicians call a one-way deck. So it means the design is not 100% the same on each side. As you could, like the LRS, for example, if you flip it over, it's going to look different when the card is one way or the other. Also, the fish in the corners are going to look different depending on which way the cards are facing. This means if you go through the work, which it doesn't take long, to put all the cards facing the same way, which is what I have done, all the cards facing the same way, if you shuffle the cards in a way that allows those cards to not flip side to side, so if you just take the cards and run them like this, those cards are staying in the same direction. Now, if a card is selected and flipped over in the deck, you're going to be able to spot which card is facing the other direction. Let's see if I can get this where you can see it. So as we go through, I'm just watching this fish in the top left corner. And as I go through, there's going to be eventually one that looks a little different right there. So that card right there should be the Queen of Hearts we just flipped over a second ago. So there it is. So you can do this all sorts of different ways. Another great way to do this is once you have them in order, if you get that card, we'll work with the Nine of Hearts, and it's flipped over in there. So now you could shuffle the cards again, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Then you could flip through the cards one at a time onto the table, flipping them over. And then as you're going through, you would recognize that the fish changes in the corner as you're flipping. And so before you even flip that card over, you could say, I bet you the next round that the next card I flip over is your card. Flip it over, you would be right. Or if you want to get even sneakier, you can go through, you would spot that card, knowing which card is theirs, flip it over, go 2 or 3 more cards, and then say, I bet you the next card I flip over is your card. Go back to the one that you spotted earlier, flip it over in the center of the deck, and then you definitely win free drinks. So there's one really cool trick you can do with these playing cards. I will show you one more. This one's a little more complicated, but also kind of a fun thing you could do. In this case, it doesn't matter if the cards, what way the cards are facing. That has nothing to do with this. You're gonna have a card selected. In this case, we'll go with the 4 of hearts again. The key for this one is you need to get the 4 hearts on the bottom of the deck, and it needs to be facing the opposite direction. There's lots of different ways you can do that. You could you could pick the cards up, shuffle them. So if you shuffle the cards and just keep it on the bottom, obviously I'm showing you right now, but you could shuffle the cards, keep it on the bottom, and then in a moment, flip it over, whatever. But you need it flipped over on the bottom of the deck. However you want to do that. This is what you're going to do next. You take some of the cards and you flip them over. You flip some the other way, flip them. You just make this giant mess of cards. Oh, I dropped that one. Get them all mixed up, right? Here we go. So now you have the cards that are going. Some of them are face up. Some of them are face down. There's probably cards that are back to back. It's just this giant mess. If we cut the cards one time, now all the cards will straighten themselves out except for that one card, the 4 of hearts, just like that. So there it is. This is accomplished with a special little shuffle. So we'll pretend the Ace of Hearts is our card. It's flipped over. So as you're doing the shuffle, you're taking cards, you're flipping them over and putting them back to back. And you make it look super. If you drop cards, it's actually even better, but you just kind of make it look like you're flipping cards over. You get to the last part, finish that bunch up. This card goes in. All you've done by flipping your hand back and forth as you do that process is set up the cards where there's a bunch of cards face up and then a bunch of cards face down with one at the end. So now if you were to show some of the cards, you cut into the top half, there's a card face up, you cut into the bottom half, there's a card face down. Naturally, see if you guys can see this. Naturally, because of the way when you shuffle cards, it creates this little bend in the middle. That's going to be the spot where the 2 cards are back to back. So if you cut at that spot, show the cards back to back, and as you put them back together, you're just spinning that top half 180 degrees, flipping it over. Cut the cards one time, that takes that card that is on the bottom into the middle, and now your one card has magically flipped over and the rest are all good. And it looks like you did nothing. So there's a couple of ways to win free drinks off your friends the next time you're fishing or camping or whatever. Take these new cards with you from lakes, rivers, and streams. If you're not following them on Instagram, go check them out. They have some incredible t-shirts. I have one of their SPF hoodies that I absolutely love. Just really, really cool stuff, all hand illustrated, especially if you're a fly fisherman. Their stuff is on point. It's some of the best I've ever seen, and the cards are super cool. So Rob, thank you so much for making an incredible deck of cards. Patreon supporters, thank you so much for continuing to support us. I hope you guys like these cards. Have some fun with them. If you end up doing the trick on someone and get it filmed, send it to me. I want to see you winning free drinks. Until next time, tight lines, cool cans. We'll see you guys later.